What's up, you degenerate goofballs? It's Tom's Refurb here. And in this video, we're doing something that I have always wanted to do. It is finally time to compare and contrast my two home-built prized possessions, Noise Complaint and Masu Tangu. Now, if you live a sad, miserable, ignorant life, you probably don't already know that these two are the most insane, badass rat rod Mustangs in existence, and that's a fact that I made up. Now, Noise Complaint is my pride and joy. This is the first car I ever bought, my 1967 Mustang Coupe. I bought it when I was 13 and I've built it from the ground up ever since. I've changed every nut and bolt multiple times. I break it constantly, and you can watch all of that on my channel. From me building it, to me breaking it, to me driving it thousands of miles at a time. I love this thing very much, and it's gonna be hard for another car to try to beat it. Now, Masu Tangu is what you get when you allow a 65 Mustang to make sweet, passionate love to a 96 Civic. This car started out as a worthless, no-title Mustang that I drug out of a field and then plopped on a turbocharged Honda Civic go-kart chassis. We recently finished a fastback roof conversion, making this the world's first front-wheel drive fastback Honda Mustang, and also making it probably the most controversial Mustang in existence. But what I do know is that it pisses off boomers, and it's fast as f***. We'll start this comparison with just a general overview of these cars' drivetrains, starting with Noise Complaint, which I get questions about constantly. Alright, what if I don't want to tell you what motor I got? Huh? This is Street Outlaws, baby! I'm just kidding. Noise Complaint is powered by an incredibly run-of-the-mill small block Ford, the same engine I built with my dad when I was 15 years old. This is a 306. That is basically a Fox Body 5.0 liter V8 that has been bored 30 over to a 306. It has cast pistons that I rev to 6,800 RPM constantly, and it still hasn't blown up. It's fitted with Edelbrock Performer 5.0 heads, which are the same as a Performer RPM, but they're older or something, and I got them milled down a little bit when I bought them, so it's got a little higher compression. And it also has the almighty B303 Ford Racing camshaft, which has been a super popular cam for like 30 years, yet it still makes Noise Complaint run hard as hell. Some other modifications include the Edelbrock air gap intake, Holley 670, MSD ignition, long tube headers, and that driver mod, boy. Something you don't know shit about. As you can see, Noise Complaint is very dusty and dirty. In fact, this is all dirt and literal sand that's on the car from Hot Rod Power Tour last year. That just goes to show how much I drive this thing. Some other notable modifications include front wheel disc brakes, an entire CBP tubular Pro Touring suspension package, and all of this 325 wheel horsepower runs through a McLeod twin disc RST clutch, a TR3550 Tremec transmission that I've had to take out like 5 times now, my badass remote custom shifter that you can see me build in a previous video, and an 8-inch posi rear with a 462 gear. That means I get about 5 miles per gallon. Not to mention, it's pretty much straight pipes. It has 2 steps. And it also has a valved exhaust system that I can make quieter. Wow, sleeper mode. I almost forgot, it's got a Bluetooth stereo, plenty of speakers inside, and you know she's fitted with them boom boom booms, dude. With them bombs, you know? 2 10s, I blew one of them, so I had to put a random one in it, but it still makes that trunk rattle, boy. There are, of course, some other minor modifications that you may or may not already know about, but that is the gist of Noise Complaint. Now for Masu Tangu, the beloved Honda Stang that literally no one has any problems with at all ever. Wow, look at this thing. So fancy. I'm gonna start this by saying I'm not technically a Honda guy. I do not know that much about them, and I didn't build this engine. As you might know, I bought this as a Honda go-kart that was already turboed and had an already built motor. However, I do know that it is a B20B bottom end with eagle rods and Wiseco pistons with 12.5 to 1 compression. It's got a B16 cylinder head on it with VTEC. You know? And it also has an aluminum intake manifold, eBay GT35R turbo on 12 pounds of boost. It runs on E85, and I have no idea how much power it makes. It makes a lot of it. It goes, you know, it's fast, but I have no clue how much power it makes. Other notable mods include the very basic eBay coilovers. I put Wilwood disc brakes in the front. It has absolutely no muffler and barely any exhaust. The car has a spec clutch, this Jack Spanish shifter, and if you didn't already know, I just finished this thing, and I just finished this interior with absolutely zero amenities. It has no heat, no radio, and no AC. And it probably weighs about 500 to 800 pounds less than noise complaint, which is definitely going to give it a weight advantage, but we'll still see if it can keep up. Now that we're done all that yapping, let's take either car for a spin and just get some first impressions. We are currently at a very rare time where both of these cars run and drive without any major problems. We'll probably cause some today. So which one do we want to drive first? Noise complaint. Nothing beats that sound. No Honda can compare. I'll start by saying I was in a burnout contest last week, so my rear tires are completely bald. There is zero tread left. They are about to pop. So it's gonna spin really bad. This is the best sounding car in the world. Two-step, you say? If I still have an input shaft by the end of this video, I will be very surprised. Quick little U-turn. Yeah, it spins, boy. There's not much left of these tires. Boy, no mufflers. That's what I like. Whoa. 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 I guess we'll try Masu Tangu now. And now for Masu Tangu. Sounds like a Honda. Now the main issue with Masu Tangu is I think the trans mount is super blown. Because look at the shifter when I take off. Ready? Watch it. Ooh. And then I let off. That's not good. It makes it really hard to like drive it and bang shifts because the shifter and trans are like fighting me. So that's a problem that we need to solve before we really go like racing or anything. It moves. If you watched previously, you know that just about every synchro in this trans is grinding its ass off right now. So if I shift it at any sort of power, it is awful. I mean, I can lean into it a little bit still, no big deal. Spool it. Driving them like back to back, I really don't know which one is faster. Because noise complaint is like I gotta shift it a whole bunch and it's all over the road and it feels super crazy. But this thing, the gears are long, it goes into boost and it's just like, Noise complaint doesn't have boost. I don't know. It's gonna be a good run. I don't know. This thing's fast. I definitely have to fix that, and I also have to fix the oil pressure gauge Now that we're back, let's do a little bit of work to both cars and then we'll be ready to set them head to head. First thing we gotta do is take care of these bald-ass 305s because I'm pretty sure my local tire shop has a set of 275s, which are not quite as wide, but don't worry, I'll burn them off. 4 out of 5 ain't bad. Whoa. Whoa. Ah, look at that. There's a little bit past the wear bars we got to burn off. They weren't quite bald yet, but they're close. And yes, Noise Complaint is tucking 305s under stock wheel tubs. I've just hammered the ever-loving shit out of the quarter panels and the wheel lips, and also cut off the bump stops. Ooh. This one's a little closer to popping. Maybe we should replace them. Those Speedy 10 mufflers. Lincoln dial. You got that K&N sticker on that Charger. He ain't got that Alright, so here we have the option of 275 3519s and 325 3019s. It currently has 305 3019s. So these are like 0.8 inches wider and just a little taller. I don't think it'll clear, but I am gonna look. These are actually the exact same tires I have on the car right now. Ventus V12s. I think they're a little too wide though. The height would be fine. I don't know. I think that's gonna be a little too much. Damn. They look pretty good on there. These are gonna work. Alright, tires are dropped off. Let's go get some oil for an oil change. We got the goodies. Since Noise Complaint has habitually low oil pressure, I like dumping that 1540 diesel oil in there. And I also got some stabilizer. I lost thickness. I lost thickness. Guess I just gotta burn these off and then buy wider ones. Perfect. Now it's time to perform the most excruciating, demanding task any car person will know. The oil change. This thing's dirty under here. What if I wash it like once a year or something? That might make a difference. Okay, I'm gonna not get a single drop of oil on myself. I'm a professional quick lube tech. The trick is to push on it even after you feel the thread's finished, and you won't get a drop of oil on yourself. You won't get any oil on your hands. And then you just pull it out really quick, and then your hands are oil free. You're welcome. Oh, you know what I'm doing?
Tighten it.
I'm tightening it. No wonder this thing's tight. This thing's hard to get off. Duh. Someone commented on my last video saying, your builds are cool, but I really wish you wouldn't try to be funny every 30 seconds. It's pretty cringe. Now, when it comes to installing your oil filter, you want to get a little drip, and then you want to just lube it up. You want to get this thing nice and lubed up, nice and slippery, right before you slip it in. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you screw it. You just let this thing screw as long as it wants until it's finished. No. Can't believe after all that screwing, I lost my nut. If I were smart, I'd move the oil pan out of the way. Done. This thing takes 5 quarts, so I'm gonna do 4 quarts of that thick shit, and then 1 quart of this thicker shit. Didn't miss anything. Didn't miss a drop. Now, while the car is sitting here with the hood open, I'm going to address the throttle linkage because I dynoed it over the summer, and when I dynoed it, I found out when I took the floor mat out and pushed the pedal harder, I gained 10 horsepower, which means my pedal is not opening my throttle all the way. That's an easy solution. I just gotta do a little adjustment. Do you like how my carb is nice and sooty from how much it backfires when it's cold? So this opens up this far, but look at that. Does the pedal open it up that far? Cameraman, I'm gonna go stomp on the pedal. After doing a little bit of testing here, we can see I'm leaving power on the table. Look, I'm gonna stomp the gas right now. Boom, that's all I got. What else does it have, cameraman? Dude, that's power. That's horsepower right there. My throttle linkage is all sorts of hokey. Look at this. Look at all that play in there. That's nice and safe. I have a direct throttle linkage here. It is adjustable, yet it is adjusted all the way right now. So I need to do something with this rod right here, and then also fix this. I'm going to eradicate this flimsy old linkage here. Look at this. It's made out of super thin, like 1/4 inch rod. It's got multiple bends in it that don't really accomplish much. So I think if I make a straight linkage that connects my throttle to my carburetor, it'll work a lot better. The car gods have just blessed me, and I found exactly what I was looking for in my random hardware bin. I got this adjustable rod end bearing set up right here that can connect to the carburetor and the pedal. Yeah, it's a little heavy, it's a little bulky, but I'll tell you what, it ain't gonna fail like that. And I can also adjust it. Wow. And we'll see if we can't get it to stretch on there. This is awesome. There goes that. See, it's not quite long enough. What I'd like to do is just connect it straight to the pedal, but I'm probably gonna have to cut and extend this stainless steel sleeve, maybe 2-3 inches, which is fine. I can do that. That's all right. That's what hot rodders do. All right, you know what I mean? To address everybody that always yells at me for my safety squints, the old weld trick, I got these. It makes me look super cool. First, I'm gonna cut this in half. And now, I will take this piece here, separate it about 3 inches, then I gotta find something to put in the middle of it. I was thinking about this piece of conduit, but it's a little bulky. I don't really think I need to go that crazy. This is just a throttle linkage. Now what I've done with that rod end bearing threaded sleeve thing is sliced it all up. So now all we're left with are these 2 rod end bearings with about 3/4 of an inch of threaded sleeve on either side. And then I took this piece of steel stock and I sanded down the corners like this, so it'll actually pop right in there and we can weld it up all pretty like. This will give us about 1 inch of adjustment on either side. I've already measured it, so it will be the proper length to connect them. So we'll have a little bit to work with as far as adjustment goes, getting it all tight. But now I'm gonna Zeus it together and it's gonna look beautiful. There we go, fresh out the oven. Now I'm just gonna take the bearings out, clean this up, sand it up, polish it up. It's gonna look real nice, and I'll assemble it. Boom. There you go. Look at that, a beautiful throttle linkage, similar to everything I ever fabricate. It is far from perfect, but it's gonna work. Let's go for the test fit, just eyeballage. Whoa, now that is about right on the money. How's this? Ooh, I hear the carburetor opening all the way up. Yeah, we got all the horsepower now. Problem solved. Just real quick, let's see if that made a difference in performance. I already feel a lot different pedal travel. Why does it sound a little quicker? It's like there's more air getting to it or something. I don't know, this might be the easiest and most inexpensive mod I've ever done. You know, actually making my carburetor open all the way. Quick reaction. Okay, first gear's useless. Second gear's useless. I think it got a little more. It feels like it got about 10% faster, which would make sense. I'll downshift a little bit, give her some sauce. Ready? Third. Third gear. Kicked sideways a little bit. These little Kumho tires are not that sticky, but that's more fun. Let's go back to the shop and fix Masu now. A couple things to change on this. If you remember the video where we finished Masu Tangu, the oil pressure gauge was not working, and I spent lots of time off camera troubleshooting. I replaced the sensor, checked all the wires, made sure the gauge was all good inside, and nothing fixed it. So I'm doing the simple solution and putting a mechanical gauge in it, because that's way easier and faster than troubleshooting more electronics. But I'll leave the electronics in there just in case we want them in the future. But for now, auto meter, baby. Oh, slide on into my beautiful custom interior that you can watch me build beginning to end. Take off this beautiful steering wheel, shove it up there. This just comes apart so nicely, just like I designed it. I'm gonna remove my beautiful dashboard and then swap this digital water temp gauge that I just installed, put it in the dash so it matches the other one, and then I will put the mechanical gauge on the roll bar mount. It'll look fine because it actually will match the factory gauges. And I don't care that much, I just don't feel like doing electrical work, because it's hard. Wow, hello. I will ever so simply remove this gauge, just like this. Pop the wire out, boop. And I'll keep the wiring in there for safekeeping, just in case I want to put a digital gauge back in it, which will never, ever happen. But I'll say that I can. We'll just set this aside. Do a simple little shifty poo of one gauge to a different location. Just loosen up my roll bar mount, and this will slide right out like this. Unplug it. Fish the wire in through here, and then, wow, this is gonna be a crazy install. Super hard. Oh, wow, they actually match too. I didn't notice this before, but this oil pressure gauge is actually, look, it's square, and the other ones are rounded. So we're taking care of a visual issue. It's gonna be more aesthetically pleasing now. That's in there, let's install the new one. I recently removed the sensor, so I know how to do it now. Got the right size adapter. Boop. Now I need to connect the tube. They sure do make it easy to get this tube out. It's so hard to insert. It doesn't want to go in. Gotta find the hole real quick. There it is. That's good. Just a half turn before stripped. Now I get to fish this in there and install it. You see how happy I am to do that? I think I have this where I need it. It likes to pull back through. It has a mind of its own, this silly plastic. About, probably about here will be fine. Beautiful. Okay, and there's some fitting. Nice and tight. Wow, that's so pretty. Wow. Let's start it up and see if it works before I tighten everything down. Okay. We got oil pressure. 60 pounds of it too. Wow, okay. I cross-threaded it. We are golden. Boom! Let's go work on the lift. New parts. Got my beating stick. It's stainless steel, it's pretty heavy. Works great when cameraman doesn't listen. Perfect. I believe this package will solve our horrible shifter issue. That shifter is kind of a direct linkage, and it also got rid of the factory transmission stabilizer bar. So I need this set of upgraded motor mounts. These are innovative mounts. They have like the track bushings in them, so should be nice and stiff, and at least a little better than the blown out stock ones. Ooh, look at these. Oh, wow, okay. Very fancy. And also lightweight and performance. I'm gonna start with the mount that I know is the problem child, which is this rear mount. I'll toss this one in there and hope it fixes it. I'll lift it up just a little bit so I can get the jack under it, because this thing's too damn low. Now I'm jacking up on the back side of the transmission just a little bit to take the tension off of that mount. Just enough to support it. Oh, wrong way. Beautiful, nice and easy. Oh, and as we can see, I jacked up the motor the perfect amount. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Super long extension. Try the other. That's not a good sign. Oh, this is not good. The bolt is stripped, but it is stripped on loosening, which is really cool and lots of fun. I will use this pry bar to pull upwards on the mount while I spin it with the impact, and hopefully the unstripped threads grab. Not only did that not work, it made the tool fall off. I've now placed a punch in that sideways hole to simulate an engine mount bolt, and then we kind of lowered the car down with a jack under the motor, so now it just has all the weight on the engine. So hopefully that's enough tension to force this bolt upwards and come out. No, it's not.
2 hours later.
In the event that any of you are watching this thinking, oh, I could do this, don't. What I'm about to attempt is very dumb and may result in me either cutting a bunch of wires or cutting myself. But this is the only way I think I can cut this without basically moving everything out of the way. So I'm gonna put this little tiny cutoff wheel on this little tiny right angle grinder, and I'm just gonna see if I can't slice it off. And if that doesn't work, I'm selling the car. Oh yeah. I'm actually gonna attempt a brief pry barring. Oh, I think we're breaking it. If this thing doesn't break now, I'm gonna be so sad. It's been like an hour at this now. Oh, thank God! Never have I been happier to break a bolt. Now that little tiny side quest is over. Oh, look what has come out. The old blown ass mount. And now, oh, look in there. Now we may not have 3 bolts, but we do have a beautifully custom-made dowel pin. So I'm gonna say screw it, I don't care. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, especially with that beautiful centering pin right there. And before you say, why don't you just get to it from the bottom, that is screwed into a square portion of the chassis or whatever, so I would have to cut the bottom of the chassis out just to get to it, which is possible, and in fact probably would have been easier than what I just did, but it doesn't make that much sense. And I am not fitting in there with a drill trying to screw that out or anything. I don't care that much. 2 bolts will be fine. Tightening it by hand so that I do not screw it up. Okay, we're tight. This sucks.
1 eternity later.
After about 30 more minutes off camera, finally got it aligned. Got the bolts started. All the bolts are started, except for the one that broke 2 hours ago. Let's tighten it all up. This has been a great time. Me. And it's tight. And it's installed. And now I'm gonna see if that mount made a difference, because I need some victory. Alright, watch the shifter. Oh! She's cold-hearted. I think I might have bumped a sensor when I was in there, though. This happened before. Let me wiggle some wires. I believe I found our issue. Yes, I believe that will do it. I soldered that broken connection back together, and now? Wow, okay. One more test. First gear, take off. I'll replace those other two another day, as long as that day is not today. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna just let the one motor mount be aftermarket for years and years on end. Just means that I am not doing it right now. And I'm gonna drive it with a working trans mount. Oh yeah. That's right. That's how it should be. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, third still grinds, but I'm calling this fixed for right now. Yes, I'll fix it in the future. I'll do the other ones. Don't worry. No, don't fret. I'll do them. Just not today. All right, let's go start comparing. Whoa, wait. Before the video continues, this is an ad for me, not for some silly VPN or some silly mobile app. It's for me, all right? Daddy's the only one in this house, all right? We just launched some new merch at tomsrefurb.shop, and I think you're really gonna like it, so go check it out. Back to the show. We are finally gonna see which Mustang is faster for real. We're here at the drag strip. I took the subwoofers out of noise complaint, got Masu Tangu all shaken down. We're gonna line them up and see which one hauls more ass. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen here. I have no clue. I have no idea. I think the real test is gonna be which car brakes first. Because Masu Tangu likes to throw CV axles and the transmission's grinding horrifically, and noise complaint likes to break input shafts and drive shafts and U-joints and rear ends. It breaks a lot of things. Now, neither of these cars have made a clean pass down the track. Never in Masu Tangu, and maybe twice in my life in noise complaint. Almost every time I break them at the starting line. So we'll see what happens. That's not all. If these cars can survive, and if one of them turns out to be really fast, we'll put them up against Dad's '66 Mustang with a fresh 347 stroker in it. I know noise complaint is not as fast as that car, but if for some reason Masu Tangu ends up being really fast and it doesn't break, we'll see what happens, but I don't know. So what we're gonna do is I think my dad and I are gonna race my cars. I'm gonna put him in noise complaint and me in Masu Tangu. We're starting out on street tires, and then if the cars do a couple successful runs without braking, I brought sticky tires. And then they'll break a bad. I also have a metric ton of different cameras, so we can catch them when they break. Hey, don't record my shit, man. What the fuck? I'm letting my dad drive noise complaint because he's really the only other person that's ever driven it. And it's actually really uncomfortable to drive. The steering wheel's too big and the seat sits too high up. So I might have an advantage as far as comfortability in Masu Tangu, but he can still drive pretty hard, so we'll see how it compares. We have the cameras set up. We got an Insta360 on Masu Tangu. We have GoPros inside either car, and I have camera glasses. You're gonna be on the outside. Someone's gonna be at the finish line if we make it there. Dad, ready. This is the driver of noise complaint. I don't think you've actually driven it that hard before ever. No. And it's also physical to drive. If we can get both cars to the end of the track, that would be a good run. And then we'll see if they're faster after that, if they survive. It's getting really real really quick. I really hope we don't break the cars immediately. That would suck. I got a helmet, I got camera glasses. I'm running it, babe. All right, our strategies for this first run, don't break it. Just get to the end. He's gonna start out in second gear, I think, and I'm just gonna launch this very easily and try not to break anything. If we can get them both down the track, that's a success. So this run might not be the who's fastest run, but it is a shakedown run, so hopefully they make it. happened to Dad. He didn't get a clean run, but that wasn't bad for this one's first time. That was pretty good. Thank you very much. God damn! 12.8 at 113? This thing gets it, baby. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting this. Noise complaint is gonna have to do a lot of work to catch up. It sounds like it completely fell on its face and died on the line, which is why it ran a 15.2. But it's gonna have some work to do to catch up with Masu, especially once I start actually trying to shift it. Because I was shifting very slowly and I also short shifted. So I think I could get a much faster run out of this car. I bet I could get in the 12.5s easy. Who knows, man? Maybe 11-second car. Yeah. What they want around here, Mustang Honda. What? Make sure everything is still okay. It still has a head gasket. That's good. Everything's still plugged in. Yup. We're getting a 10 out of this today. Maybe even a 9. I was going to coffee in between my shifts on that first run. I'm gonna start hating on this thing. If we get like 3 clean runs, we're going crazy. We're going 8. We're going gorilla mode on this car, man. I'm gonna drive it into the 9s today. All right, it's time for run number 2. He's gonna try launching in first this time. I'm gonna try to drive mod this thing a little bit. Try to get it into the low 12s. I kind of don't think noise complaint's gonna keep up, but we'll see. Masu Tangu got 112.8. I'm trying to let the LSD pull me. I got one tire. This is the slowest pass in history right now. Oh, hey guys. This sucks. I can't do anything right, man. Hey man. Oh, watch out. Oh, watch out, man. Oh. Ever! Oh, there goes that splitter, man. Good thing I have done that a couple times now. Hey, don't zoom in on that, cameraman. Better not scrape my lip. I think I might have some wood in my pants. Okay. Got a baseball bat and a hammer. 2 hammers. 2 hammers for today. The hammer's in the bat? Perfect. You're bending my splitter, dude. All right, we're strapped down, and I'm gonna go back and get to racing. My dad was being nice and trying not to break noise complaint because he has respect for my cars, but I don't. So I'm gonna go and try to break noise complaint and probably break it. But maybe, just maybe, we'll get a run semi-close to this one, and we could at least say the cars are comparable. All right, well, after like an hour, we got a CV axle, we got the car fixed. We're gonna get back to racing. It's quite bumpy, it doesn't ride very well. I'm just kidding, it's broken. All right, now, that's broken, but I'm gonna see what I can get this. You can break this too. Yeah, we might have to do 2 trips, but he's driven this car twice and he was trying not to break it, so now I'm gonna try to break it. And we're gonna see if we can get it fairly close to 12.8. I honestly still think Masu Tangu is significantly faster because I easily did 12.8 without running it in my life. So this thing, I want a 12 out of it, at some sort of 12. Dad, tell the viewers about your Mustang.
Just a little 289, kind of slapped it together.
Gonna see what it runs today. Yeah, a little 5-speed manual. 5-speed. Nothing crazy.
I've had this car since I was 16. So.
That's your baby.
They're racing the babies now.
Too bad I'm gonna put the hurt on you, man. I got 462 gears. Put the hurt on anything. Out of it, that's easy money, baby. We'll get something better out of this. But 13.1 can be improved upon. All right, after the second run, driving noise complaint, we got it down to a 13.1. It's still bogging off the line, and it spins hard in the second. But that was a pretty good run. He definitely smoked me. That's a 12-second car now. He's gonna get thrown out with his lap belts, but I wanna try one more and see if I can't get this into the 12s, because then I'd be happy. We're gonna do one more run. I'm gonna try to break into the 12s, and I'm gonna walk this old red hoopty slap together. Stop!
What?
I may have stolen some parts off of that S10 last week. There's a possibility. Huh. That's weird. These tires are different than mine. Now we're gonna run a 12. The car pretty much almost died on the line, and I ran the worst yet. That sucks. It really hooked though. Second gear was like boom, boom. But then it fell on its face. Fell on its face. All right, after a day of racing, we have found out that Masu Tangu is probably faster than noise complaint because I couldn't manage to break into the 12s, even with slicks. I have to figure out something in the carburetor because it is not launching worth it. But man, once it gets going, boom, 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 4 gears, running through the rev limiter at the finish line. It's perfect. Man, if I could just get a clean launch, man, I'm pulling a wheelie just like that guy. If I could just get one clean launch, dude, I'm in the air. But that's a problem for next time because now Masu Tangu is broken. All right, we're on the way home now. We just completed something I've always wanted to do, which is race noise complaint Masu Tangu. It pretty much went exactly as I expected it. Although we only broke one car instead of two, I'm still driving this one. So I just gotta fix the little CD axle, then we'll be back at it, man. I gotta fine tune my carburetor a little bit. This thing is not good off the line. I gotta tweak the accelerator pump or something like that to get this car running right, because this thing is pretty damn fast once it gets up and goes. I can knock, I think, a half seconds off if I can get off the line. So that was a success. Good enough for me. That will be all for the very first noise complaint versus Masu Tangu comparison. Drag racing was awesome. I have always wanted to do that, and it was a success. Masu Tangu is way faster than I expected. That was the first clean run I've ever done, and I'd barely call it a clean run because I left super easy and didn't even bang shift. It's in the 12s. Easy. Now, noise complaint, I did try a lot, and I didn't quite break the 12s. Now granted, it did fall on its face every single run, and I do think it has a good 12-second pass in it, maybe even like 12.5s. It's not as fast as Masu Tangu. This car's fast. I think with a good hook, it's low 12, maybe even 11 seconds on the quarter mile. So, safe to say this thing hauls ass a little more, but both cars still haul ass, and it was a lot of fun. I have way more comparisons planned, but we can't really do them today because I broke that car drag racing. So, stay tuned for more in the future. Thank you for watching the coolest damn automotive content on YouTube. I'll see you soon, unless you want to see me sooner, in which case, subscribe to the Patreon. Bye.